Hey there, I'm Andrew Chang. Welcome to About That. Today, we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence and all the ways it could be used to scam Canadians out of lots and lots of money. But first, let me show you what I'm talking about here. So this is an email I got like a week ago from Canada Post. I don't know, right? It's from Powaka 78. I don't even know what to say there. The punctuation is all off. Hi, customer. You know, is this how you express Canadian dollars? Basically, I mean, everything about this email is super weird, right? It's the kind of thing we get all the time. The vast majority of people don't fall for this kind of scam, though, right? Because we have gotten better and better at recognizing the red flags, but some people do fall for it.
My TikTok account was hacked.
I lost all my information. I'm losing everything.
I've been hacked again. My profile photo has changed to Norman Price and I can't change it back.
Just could not believe it happened to me, and how they did it was just so smart.
So you click the link, it looks reputable enough after all. Maybe you input some personal information, type in a password or two, maybe even your credit card number, and suddenly your security is compromised. That's what we call a good old-fashioned phishing scam. And here's the thing, the scammers don't actually need a whole lot of these to work for them to be profitable.
It doesn't have to be a huge return on a per individual, or it doesn't have to be a very high victim conversion rate. So if a cyber criminal is able to hit 1,000 victims, but only 10 fall for a cryptocurrency scam where they actually lose $1,000, that's still a good return for the amount of work that the cyber criminal needed to invest.
Phishing scams work because they operate at scale. Yes, it's a pretty basic net, but they cast it really wide, and they almost always get at least a few bites. But what if you could increase the success rate? Catch bigger fish. Spear phishing is like regular phishing, except hyper-targeted. So maybe they go after a specific company, or it could be you or me, gathering publicly available but very personal information in order to craft a highly personalized email that really looks legitimate. It's been going on for years. In 2015, a Lithuanian hacker sent fake invoices to both Facebook and Google pretending to be a commercial vendor. Those invoices were obviously convincing enough because both companies ended up losing a combined $100 million. Then the following year, an Austrian aerospace parts manufacturer ended up losing something like $61 million when one of their employees received a fake email from their boss telling them to reroute funding to a fake project. Now, this type of fraud can be very lucrative, but you don't really do it at scale the way you do with regular phishing because it's hard to pull off, right? These kinds of scams take time, they take research, they take skill. But what if you could combine the sophistication of spear phishing with the mass reproducibility of regular phishing? What if you could spear fish all the big fishes?
What we're seeing with this generative AI is the ability to have the best of both worlds, where you can now have very custom tailored notes, but you can scale to millions of users. So the way that I think about it is it's a new level of efficiency where you can operate at the scale of traditional phishing, but with the effectiveness of spear phishing. And that's a huge concern. And users need to be much more attuned to a message that looks like they might really know the individual on the other side, but it could have been generated by one of these automated capabilities.
So how soon can we expect to see these highly personalized AI-generated scam emails? And I mean, what can you do to protect yourself? Well, let's shut this down here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my way over to one of our producers, Kieran Outshorn, who knows way more about this stuff than I do. And my understanding is that he's cooked up a little bit of a demonstration to show just how well AI can craft really realistic-looking scam emails. Hi, Kieran. Hey, how's it going? Okay, let me put this down here. Okay, so Kieran, what are we actually talking about when we talk about these highly personalized AI-generated scams?
Okay, so let me paint you a picture here. You come into work, you open up your email, you have 10, 20, maybe 30 unread emails.
maybe more than that.
Maybe more, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you're scanning through them. You're looking at which ones you need to make sure you check before you move on to the other things you're doing in the day. And you see an email from your colleague. Better yet, from your boss. What do you do?
Open it?
Exactly. You need to be opening emails from your bosses. And so that's what we have here. I printed out an email from your boss, my boss too, Susan Margetti.
Okay.
And take a look at it and take a little read.
Just read it out?
Yeah, just go for it.
From Susan Margetti, subject, you're making waves with About That.
So nice.
That's nice. Okay, hey Andrew, I just want to shoot you a quick email to congratulate you on the fantastic launch of About That. I can tell you poured your heart and soul into this project, and the amazing response from viewers proves it. This is really
so wholesome.
I like this. I know the transition from hosting The National has been challenging, but your professionalism and exceptional skills as a journalist and anchor have not gone unnoticed. As you know, we are super excited about CBC Explore and the great potential for it to grow. We are currently looking at developing some new programming for the platform, including a current affairs show that will focus on the intersection of politics and culture. Oh, here it is, it's coming now. We would love to have you involved in the process, so I've shared a link to a Google document.
Always the link.
Yeah, is right. To a Google document outlining our vision for this project, and we would appreciate your input on how we can work together to make it happen. Thanks so much for your dedication to CBC News. We are thrilled to have you on our team and can't wait to see what's next. Take care, Susan Margetti.
Okay, so here's the big question.
Yeah.
If you receive this email, in our regular day, comes into your inbox, you read it, do you click that link?
I mean, we're talking about scams.
Yeah,
so no, Kieran, I would not click on the link.
Good.
How's
you made
that?
the right decision.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a scam email.
Right.
And the thing is, there's a couple things that sort of that are red flags that you could catch on.
Wait, I'm just noting cbd.ca.
Yeah, cbd.ca.
Not cbc. Right. Yeah.
So these are important things to look for. Sometimes, where's the email coming from? Some details like CBC Explore. It's actually called CBC News Explore.
Yeah,
That's
of
right.
course,
There's
right. I didn't even
elements like
think of that.
So the thing is that there are some red flags here that you could catch, and that's what we should be doing. But how easy is that going to be when you're getting 5 of these, 10 of these every week, and from different people? And sometimes on projects, they'll be inviting you to take part in a project that you're like, oh, I actually was supposed to be working with someone on that.
Yeah.
And so that's the challenge that exists here, is that these are going to be coming in even more all the time.
So AI wrote this. I mean, and it looks, I mean, it's not bad, right? Like, it's pretty impressive. I could see, maybe falling for this. How long until this kind of thing isn't just in my email inbox, but in yours and in theirs and theirs and theirs and everyone's across Canada? So
the thing that we're dealing with here at its base level is a combination of 2 technologies that actually already exist. One of them is this data gathering. There's so much data gathering that's going on the internet already. Some of it is happening, anonymously, so your name's not attached to it, but other data does have your name. And also there's all the information that you personally put out there.
Of course, sure.
That you put on websites. And that's being gathered into different places. The next element is this ChatGPT. That's where you're able to take even just a few prompts and create these relatively realistic sounding emails that build on those little bits of information. And what's missing is an automation between those 2 elements. Now, for this specific email, I played a little bit of that role in between.
You were telling ChatGPT about me.
Well, sort of. The first thing I did is I said, tell me everything you know about CBC host Andrew Chang. And
it knew things already.
It did. It gave a whole list of things. Not all of them were 100% correct. I'm not sure that you won 3 awards and worked and monked it for 5 years.
No, I didn't.
But most of the information was accurate. And from there, I added a little bit more information, mostly because ChatGPT is only working on a data set that's 2021 and before. So I included in my prompt that you had moved to a new show about that.
Right.
But basically, all I asked it to do was to write an email, a congratulatory email from your boss to you that ended with a prompt to click a Google Doc link.
And so you're saying that we should all be at least a little bit concerned about the day coming where all of that work that you had to put into it would be automated somehow. And it sort of leaves me wondering, so what the heck do I do about that, right? Like how do I protect myself from this?
That's the question, and unfortunately, I don't have a really satisfying answer for you. If you know someone personally and they send you an email, it seems a little bit weird, you should contact them outside. You should send them a text, give them a phone call, use a different method of communication to double check with them. Like, so if Susan sent you this, you can shoot her a GChat, be like, hey Susan, did you actually need me to check this? Yeah. And then if it's something like your bank, they're sending you something, what you can always do is you can use your normal way that you navigate to their website. So you just don't click the link that's in the email, just use your normal approach, you open your browser, go to their website, sign in, see if it's legitimate. That's the safest thing you can do here. And unfortunately, I know that it's not super helpful because we're going to start getting a deluge of these. At least that's what the experts are saying. But it's the real answer is going to be vigilance.
Kieran Outshorn, thank you very much.
I'm always happy to ruin your day.
Yeah, exactly. We will be back with more on this. I feel like we've gone down a very deep rabbit hole, but believe it or not, this is just skimming the surface. Back with much, much more after this.